All right, today we're jumping into the epic biblical story of First Kings. And really, it's this incredible dramatic tale about a kingdom that hits the absolute peak of its power and glory, only to see it all come crashing down.
And that right there is the big question that hangs over this entire story. How does a nation, when it's at its richest, its most powerful, its most stable, how does it start down that road to complete collapse? Let's get into it.
So our story kicks off at the very top, with the reign of King Solomon, the son of the legendary King David. I mean, this was truly Israel's golden age.
Right when Solomon becomes king, he has this pretty incredible moment. God basically offers him anything he wants, a blank check. And Solomon doesn't ask for money or power, he asks for just one thing, wisdom. And wow, did God grant him that request and then some.
The results of that wisdom? They were just staggering. Israel saw an economic boom like it had never seen before. The nation was totally at peace. And Solomon, he finally achieved his father David's lifelong dream, building this magnificent temple for God in Jerusalem. A massive project that took 7 whole years to finish.
But, how do we know he was really that wise? Well, his wisdom wasn't just some abstract idea. It got put to the test in what might be one of the most famous court cases in all of history.
Just picture this scene, right? 2 women come to him, both claiming to be the mother of the same baby. So what's Solomon's solution? He orders his guards to cut the child in half. Of course, the real mother, horrified, immediately gives up her claim just to save her child's life, and in doing so, she reveals the truth. That one judgment call cemented his reputation as the wisest king on the planet.
But here's the thing. Even at the height of all this glory, a tiny crack began to form. Turns out, Solomon had a fatal flaw, one that would end up destroying everything he'd built.
So what was this fatal flaw? It all started with politics and marriage. See, Solomon married hundreds of foreign women to secure political alliances, and to keep the peace, he started to accommodate their different religions. But over time, especially as he got older, he didn't just tolerate their gods. He started worshiping them, even building altars for their idols. And that direct act of disobedience, well, that was the beginning of the end.
And the fallout from that decision was severe and it came fast. Which brings us right to the second act of our story, the kingdom literally breaking in two.
You see, the second Solomon died, the cracks that were already there just burst wide open. Decades of heavy taxes and forced labor to pay for all of Solomon's huge building projects had really worn the people out. So when his son Rehoboam took over and foolishly promised to be even tougher, that was it. That was the final straw. The kingdom just snapped.
And look at how this split actually played out. It wasn't a 50-50 thing, not even close. 10 of the 12 tribes just left. They broke away and formed the brand new northern kingdom, called Israel, under a totally new king, Jeroboam. That left only 2 tribes loyal to Solomon's family, forming the southern kingdom of Judah, with Rehoboam still in charge. A massive fracture.
The story then shifts its focus to that new northern kingdom, which, unfortunately, just spirals into this deep moral and spiritual decay. But right in the middle of all that darkness, one of the most powerful prophets in history shows up, Elijah. Now, a prophet is basically a messenger for God. And let me tell you, Elijah had a message that was about to shake the entire nation.
The North just dove headfirst into idol worship, and it got really bad under the wicked King Ahab and his notorious wife Jezebel. They didn't just tolerate other gods, they made the worship of a false god named Baal the official state religion, and they went around hunting and killing the prophets of the true God.
This all builds up to this incredible showdown on Mount Carmel. It's a straight-up confrontation to decide who is the real God, the God of Israel or Baal. And, well, the odds look absolutely impossible.
On one side, you've got 450 prophets of Baal. They've got the king, the queen, the entire government on their side. And on the other side, just one guy, Elijah, standing all by himself. So Elijah throws down a challenge. Whichever God answers by sending fire from heaven is the true God. The prophets of Baal, they yell, they dance, they pray for hours, and nothing. Crickets. Then Elijah says a simple, quiet prayer. And instantly, bam, fire falls from the sky and consumes the entire altar. In that single moment, everyone saw who the one true God was. It was this undeniable, jaw-dropping display of power.
So, after all of that, the soaring highs, the devastating lows, what's the key takeaway from the Book of 1 Kings? What's the point?
Well, it really all boils down to a pretty clear pattern.
When the nation's leaders were faithful to God, the kingdom thrived. But when they were disobedient, it led directly to division, to conflict, and eventually to their total downfall. The fate of the entire nation was directly tied to its faithfulness.
And that leaves us with this really powerful question, one that just echoes down through history, doesn't it? From Solomon's compromises to Ahab's outright evil, one king shows us over and over again how the choices of just one leader can completely alter the destiny of an entire nation for generations. It's definitely something to think about.